I have a question about Matthew Whitaker's statement. He said that, in terms of peace talks on Ukraine, the ball was now in Russia's court. We would like to ask whether the Kremlin shares this view. Second, Matthew Whitaker said that the U.S. was trying to understand what Russia was willing to compromise on. Has the Russian side already announced its maximum conditions to U.S. representatives?
First, our colleagues from the United States are well aware of all the main parameters of Russia's position. Russian presidential aide Kirill Dmitriev has already reported to President Vladimir Putin on the results of his trip in full detail. Based on the information received by the head of state, we will determine our next steps and continue our contacts through existing operational channels in the near future.
There is information that Dmitriev brought back not 1 but 4 documents from the United States. Could you tell us what they are? If possible, could you describe them in detail? Is it true that Ukraine's membership in NATO is no longer included on the list of peace proposals?
No, I couldn't. We still believe that communicating to the media is highly inappropriate. Therefore, we will not discuss what Dmitriev brought with him.
Warsaw has announced its desire to become a permanent member of the G20, representing the rapidly developing Eastern Europe. How effective do you think Poland's efforts are in becoming a driving force behind the European economy?
There are certain parameters for countries participating in the G20. The question is whether Poland's economic parameters meet these standards. Overall, Poland is a large economy for Eastern Europe. It is indeed a large country. We hope that Poland remembers that the G20 is an economic association with an absolute priority on discussing economic issues. As a rule, Poles always tend to turn everything into politics and distort the meaning of that politics. Therefore, if we are really talking about economic discussions, then the question is whether Poland's economy meets the necessary parameters.
In light of recent statements by French President Emmanuel Macron about the need to resume dialogue, did the Kremlin receive signals from France about doing so?
When this happens, we will inform you.
Today is Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova's birthday and anniversary. Although she does not work in the Kremlin, we work in sync with her. What are your thoughts on this diplomat and beautiful woman?
She is brilliant. I can say that President Putin sent her a congratulatory telegram. We, of course, join our president in his congratulations.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.